Hi there, I'm Scott from ByTheBrush Miniatures, and today we are doing the Pro vs Noob Miniatures Painting Challenge. So you may or may not have noticed, we have a unit of Chaos Space Marines here, but there are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Marines here. And that's because the other one is with Oscair Brady, who's a good friend of the channel. He is this channel's editor. He also does his own content, and really good content, quite entertaining, informative sometimes. Just go check him out, his link will be in the description. He is going to be painting that one missing Marine, and he's going to be doing his own perspective of this video on his channel, so make sure you go and check that out as well. So we both have the same amount of time to do this. He's got to paint one and I've got to paint the other 9. So I've also got things like the Heavy Bolter and the Flamer and obviously the Icon Champion, so all the different special Marines as well. But that shouldn't be much of an obstacle, hopefully, because they are all more or less the same. And we've gone with 1 week to do it because we think that's probably going to be sufficient enough for both of us to actually be able to complete it and then compare the results, which should be quite interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and undercoat all of these, and I'm going to start my side of the challenge. Oscar has already got his Marine undercoated. I did it for him. He's got all the paints that I think he needs, and he's going to be following my tutorial on how to paint a Black Legion Chaos Space Marine, and hopefully my tutorial is good enough and he gets a decent result. We've run into a complication. You can see we've got 6 really nicely primed Chaos Space Marines here, although we have 3 that did not quite make it. I ran out of Gracia spray paint, so we're going to take a trip down to the Warhammer shop now, grab some more, come back, and then finish these poor guys off. So on the way, I would say nearly there, but that would be a lie. I've got 9 nicely undercoated Chaos Space Marines, and I'm now going to go ahead and start filming the tutorial video that Oscar's going to have to follow, which I'll put just up here that you can click and paint your own Black Legion Chaos Space Marines if you want. And I'm going to use this guy for that, I think. Yeah, I think that'll be good. So what I've done is I've started making the tutorial video with this guy, and obviously that counts as part of my 1 week. So gonna just hopefully get that done nice and quickly, because then I can just, you know, paint the rest. So I've just taken the shots for this guy. I've finally finished the first Marine after about 2 whole days. So I've recorded the tutorial of this guy so Oscar can get started now. Obviously I've had a bit of a head start, so I've got to finish earlier than he does, but that's 1 of 9 Marines. 8 to go.
Right, so a bit of time has passed. It's now actually raining. I don't know whether the audio is picking that up, but I'm here and we've got some black over our shoes. It's not the best. It's not exactly how the tutorial looks, but I'm gonna go with that, and I'm gonna see what the tutorial next says. Let's take a look. Alright, so it looks like we've got a little bit of gold. This is Retributor armor. Alright, so we want any kind of gold trim. The problem with my brush is it's a little bit thicker than we wanted to when we bought it, so it's quite sloppy. If we're very, very careful, we can do it. Like so, there we go. So I've done the bottom of that trim. Let's take a look at what else we can do. Right, so he's got this skull. This skull here is all gold, so we need to go do this. And what I've also noticed is that he's got this little thing here that we need to paint gold. This is hard because I keep missing it. The brush is just not thin enough.
So now that I've finished that guy, I can start painting the rest in bulk, and I'm going to start just with the black armor, and I am painting them all exactly like you've seen in the tutorial, so check that out if you want to get similar results to this. So I don't think this should be too hard for me. I think I've got quite an easy job here. So we've just begun day 3 now, and this is what we have. I think that's probably the second longest part is the black. I say second because we all know what it's like to paint the trim on Chaos Space Marines. So we are quite deep into day 3, probably coming towards the end of today's session. We've done all the black, but now obviously the most painful part of the process is coming. We've got to do all of the gold. I'm going to definitely get a good start to that now, and then hopefully get a good chunk of that base coat done today, so I don't have to spend loads of time doing all the gold. But once that's done, I mean, there's not too much left to do, is there?
Right, what else has he done here? He's got the chainsaws. We've got a chainsaw here. His chainsaws are ever so slightly different, but he's coloured some form of blade, so I'm going to make it up as I go and colour in this. I think this will do nicely, and same on the other side. Here he's also got a gun, likewise I do, and I'm just taking a look inspiration wise. He's not done a lot on there, just here at the bottom we've got a little bit as well. As you would imagine, I'm struggling a little bit to reach the... Right, that has now been done. So the next instruction was Liberator Gold, and just to cover everything over that, so let's go and open this up. And here we go. This does not look so gold. Let's just make, and we'll just go and paint everything we've just painted with Liberator Gold. And there we have it. Liberator Gold has been applied.
So we are just about to start day 4. So we talked about doing all the gold on day 3, so let's take a look at the progress of how we did. So as you can see, we did that. So hopefully today we can get quite a bit of the gold painted. So that's over with at last. So now we're about halfway through day 4, and I've made a drastic decision. So I was going to do all of the gold, all of the red, all of the, on all of them. So like kind of properly batch paint them, but given that we're halfway through day 4 and I've finished 1.5 guys, I'm now going to just paint them all individually. The reason I'm doing that isn't to be more efficient, but it's because I want to have something to show after the 7 days, because for some reason I'm painting extremely slowly. I think I'd rather have, say, like half of them done than like half of them done, like half of, say, like having 8 half painted Chaos Space Marines. I would rather have 4 fully painted ones. So that's the plan now.
So now it's time to do the Agrax Earthshade. Let's go do that. Just put that all over the gold, pretty damn easy. Don't even need to be careful about it. If I'm not, at least I'm not going to be careful about it, because too cool for school. And there we go. The base lead belcher. Here we go. Right, let's give this a go. So anything kind of remotely metallic, we're going to be painting with this. Be very, very delicate here. So as to get the right bits, it's hard to know because Scott's model is ever so slightly different, so I don't know what exactly is different. But I'm going to keep an eye on the facial details as well, like you mentioned. I am going to admit this isn't the best, but it'll do. Right, so we got Black Templar here, and we're just gonna put this over everything. No, not over everything, over any kind of metallic, kind of black looking things. So I'm just going to, I don't really know actually, to be honest with you. I'm just painting random things. Yes, I have no idea whether I'm doing it right or not, but yeah, that's cool. That's really cool.
Drawing towards the end of day 5, and I have actually got another marine to show, which is the aspiring champion, which is quite good. Glad I've got him done. So I now have 2, so at least it's not gonna be, at least I'll have something to show at the end. Gonna try and get this guy done, but with 2 days left, I don't know. So at this point, it's time to panic, because we've sort of started day 6. We have 2 done, and this guy is not doing too bad. He's nearly done, I'm gonna say. And then we'll be moving on to the heavy bolter. So hopefully we can get that done in the 7 days, the 4 of them at least, hopefully. Big stress on hopefully.
So this is the Dryad bark, which I'm just about to use now, and this is for all the leather stuff, so let's give that a little paint. It's quite fiddly, this bit, this is. There we go, I think that's everything I need to do. So with this brush, I should claim that the bristles aren't, shall we say, kept very fine. I had this problem right from day 1. So this next part, which kind of really requires the bristles to stay together, we're not going to exactly get that. We're now applying what you call a layer of Baneblade Brown onto leather. Right, so we are moving on to our null oil now. I had to wait quite a bit for the Dryad bark to dry, but it's now all ready. Alright, so the next step is to move to the corn red and get all the kind of red details down. Now, like I said, I've only got 1 brush and it's quite crap, so this is going to be a good bit of fun. There we go.
It is now the beginning of the final day, and this is what I have. Now, I hoped to get all 9 of them painted, but I think I just spend way too long on individual minis trying to get them perfect. Like, my speed painting game is just not there. So I want to hopefully try and work on that for next time, but for now we're just going to try and finish this guy. And I think if we get 4 of these done, it's better than nothing. We are like past halfway through the final day, and I mean, yeah, we've made progress, okay, but I'm not sure. All that's left to do on this guy is the leather, because I can't actually see any cloth on this guy anywhere. These bone bits here, and then his eyes, and then I'm gonna base him. I think I should be able to do it. So hopefully we've got a full, a collection of 4 painted Chaos Space Marines. Then we'll be able to see how Oscar's done on his end and take a look at how well he's managed to paint his. So it is going to be my first use of the wet palette today, because I've actually just been dealing with metallics, washes and contrast all day. You don't want to do that at all. My dry wet palette, we need to fix this. So at this point it is pretty much a race against time to try and get this guy finished to the best I can. I think I'm going to have to work on my speed painting ability. I don't actually know what the issue is at the minute. I think it might be that, like, even on some random Chaos Space Marine that, you know, isn't a character of any kind, my sort of like eye for detail is too strict. You know, like if I make a little mistake, I go in and think I have to immediately try and fix the mistake. It just really doesn't matter that much. So I've put the wash on. Next I'm going to highlight the leather. Then I'm going to layer up the skulls. Then wash the leather. Do a bit more work on the eyes. Then highlight the skulls. Then finish the eyes. Do the shoulder. Do the base. That's the plan. But first of all, I'm going to eat some food. As you can probably tell from the lighting, it's beginning to get dark outside. We've got just about enough time to apply the transfer to this guy's shoulder and then do the base. He's got a hair stuck to his head, but other than that he's finished. So we'll get them bits done before we call it a day.
Right, this is the dangerous part. I've got the transfer sheet wet now. I need to get everything as wet as I really can. There we go. We've gotten that on. We'll need to straighten it up just a little bit. Don't know whether you can see that on this camera here or not, but yes, that is on. Do some magic brush work, get that centered up, and then we'll move on to our next step. Which of course the next step is to go back to the art coat and go applying that. Moving the art coat over that just to seal in the transfer, which isn't stuck on very well currently, but will be hopefully when that art coat dries.
And here, wow, look at that. That is a mighty four Chaos Space Marines. We've managed to paint 4 in a whole week, so there's clearly an issue somewhere. I plan on solving it. I want to be doing armies on parade this year, and my thought was to do Chaos because I wanted to include my Bellacore model. Now I'm having some second thoughts, okay? I don't know, it's just, it takes so long for me to paint these Chaos Marines. I managed to get 4 done in a whole week. I'm a bit disappointed in myself, but I am very, very happy with the result of these 4. So what we'll do is we will meet up with Oscar, we'll collect his Chaos Marine that he's painted, and then we'll compare it with mine, see how it looks. I'll get it based for him as well, because he's not bothering with the basing. And then I'll tell him how we did, and we'll take a look at his mini and score it. Judge it. Look at every imperfection and point it all out. I'm joking, we'll just take a look and see how he's done. So, quick overview now of what we've both done. I've just quickly based this in my basing scheme. Obviously Oscar tried to base it himself. I've left his undercoat underneath because I thought it actually works quite well with this, potentially better than my own basing anyway. So as you can see, we've got a really nice smooth coat all across, which is very impressive. My first mini certainly didn't have such a smooth coat. If you're interested to see my first one, you can go and take a look at our Instagram, it's up there. Obviously it could be cleaner, but that's because he was working with this brush, and just those eyes done with this brush, that is beyond impressive. Actually really good. They're not sure what this glossy finish around the whole thing's all about. Another thing I did notice is I think in the areas where he's used corn red, instead of doing a highlight of Evil Sunz Scarlet, he's gone ahead and just done a full layer. Nevertheless, still looks alright, just makes those areas look a bit more blocky. Yeah, he also put this transfer on sideways, but overall he's done a very good job. And obviously I only managed to get 4 of mine done. But yeah, very well done. So that is the result when you get someone very new to the hobby to go up against someone who's been doing it for years and years and years and years. If you enjoyed this video, if you thought it was a good idea, good concept, leave a like and a comment to let me know. If you want to see more things like this in the future, more collabs with other creators, all sorts of stuff like that, do please leave a like and subscribe if you want to. Don't have to, options obviously there. At the moment, 94% of you aren't subscribed, so it would be great to see a lot more of you come forward and create this this community here. If you want to show us some support, you can follow the links in the description to our Instagram and our Patreon. We would really appreciate that, of course. And with that said, we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.